It's puzzling to experts, a biolab in a suburban home garage.
Unless these things get raided, nobody's going to find them. It's not like we know that they're there.
Investigators say they were tipped off to one by someone who worked in the house. They raided it early Saturday morning. Video revealing the hundreds of samples collected in vials and jugs. Days later, police identifying this man, Ori Solomon, as the property manager.
We have no knowledge that he had any expertise or is in that area, or he's somewhat of a trained biologist, no.
Court records obtained by Channel 13 show he's an Israeli citizen here on a non-immigrant visa. Authorities say he works for a Chinese citizen who goes by the alias David Herr, who owns the home on Sugar Springs Drive. Herr is in a California jail charged following a 2023 investigation of an alleged illegal biolab in Reedley, California. Leaders there holding a press conference this week.
Pathogens including samples of COVID-19. There was 1,000 transgenic mice that were there.
Investigators say much of what was found in that Fresno warehouse is consistent with materials found in the lab in Las Vegas. Solomon manages more than 30 short-term rental properties, including this one where the biolab was found in Las Vegas.
Peace, peace, and blessing.
Peace and blessing.
Another show.
Another show.
Another day.
Another day.
What's up, Shin?
What's up, Shin?
How everything been?
How everything been?
Hey, I'm chilling, bro. What's good with you?
Good. Another day.
Good.
But this news passed people out. It was in the mainstream. But it disappeared. So I wanted to bring it to light how we have Al Qaeda, we have ISIS, we have different rogue elements. And this particular lab had HIV, COVID. This is a national security risk. But you want to know what the judge done? Let him off on his own recognizance. OR bond. That means he don't have to pay nothing. Why we not hearing the FBI talking about it? The news. His accomplished because this event is connected to 2023 biolab that was illegal in California. Just this month in February. So we're going to go a little bit more into detail.
More detailed update and walk you through how this investigation unfolded. Just a little over a week ago, LVMPD received limited information indicating that laboratory equipment and potentially hazardous materials were being stored at a residence in the northeast part of our town. As our investigation progressed, we determined that the home was owned by the same individual connected to a prior illegal biolab investigation in Reedley, California that occurred in 2023. The nature of that earlier investigation raised significant concern for what we might encounter in this new case. In Reedley, investigators reportedly discovered an illegal biolab containing materials possibly associated with a range of infectious diseases, including hepatitis, COVID, HIV, malaria, and other potentially dangerous pathogens. While it is unknown whether similar materials were present here at the Las Vegas residence, the possibility required us to proceed with extreme caution. Because of these concerns, LVMPD's counterterrorism section and our armor task force, in partnership with the FBI, immediately initiated a joint investigation and began developing detailed operational plans to address this potential threat.
I'm scared. Herpes, COVID, malaria, and different types of disease pathogens. This not somebody who got the cure. This someone who was working outside of hospital. Illegal. Yeah, they saying it's an echo. Let me see something. How the mic is now. Is the echo gone?
Nah, it's still echoing.
Okay.
You're on mute, kid.
What about now?
It's good now.
Oh, I go to my regular computer, shoot my Apple not working right. I can deal with this.
Nah, you still got an echo.
Oh my God. What about now? Right check.
Yeah, you still got an echo.
I don't know why it's showing the echo, but they say it's better. Okay.
You're the only one echoing too, because mine the voice is not echoing.
And that's weird. Audio. How about now?
Yeah, you're still echoing a little bit.
Well, I don't like this. But practice make perfect. But it's on the line. But yeah, what your thoughts about?
Well, the best thing for me, I say, is I've been telling y'all about, I've been trying to get this show done about the cloning facilities, the underground cloning facilities, for like 6 months now. So I knew it was a real critical piece of information, especially when I found out that Jeffrey Epstein was deeply involved with these type of cloning facilities and the assembling of these facilities for uh, eugenic purposes. That's what it was, eugenic purposes. And now we're finding out it's also not just for eugenic and cloning purposes, but it's also for bioavailability for pathogenic attacks. So we know that it's going to be a question onto the motives of these people in the society. And then not only that, when you go into the further research and you find out a lot of these pathogens got to be administered to somebody first before they can become a contagion, meaning that it's not able to be passed on or aspired in a natural way. That means that somebody has to give it to you through intravenous blood supply, meaning they have to give you an injection. So it's very disheartening, but it also gives you an eye-opening experience to understanding, and it just makes me question some of the more current effigy of these totems of sickness. Is now they're talking about it's a COVID-26, you know what I'm saying? So, and then they're finding these biolabs with these different bioavailable versions of COVID-19, and now they're saying it's COVID-26. So it just lets you know they ain't stopped working on these different ways to try to make people sick, maybe, you know, make people pass away. And I feel like, it has to do a lot with the Epstein list. Number one, first and foremost, and then secondly, it has to do with Bill Gates and the Elite Agenda 2030 population control methodology. How they, if you go to that video clip, which we don't have it on this show, but Bill Gates said it himself that vaccines are a form of population control. And then, as a critical thinking skills, you gotta ask yourself the question: how, if a vaccine is meant to keep you from getting sick, and if a vaccine is meant to save lives, how is it a form of population control? Because population control determined by lessening the population, not gaining population. So it just makes you wonder why these people just can't come out and say the truth, and then understand that these people who's in the positions of power and these positions who have these finances and backing by different lobbyist groups and different corporations, we need to start questioning these people's motives, because a lot of them are the ones who are in the background funding these underground laboratories, and they're the ones who are trying to administer these pathogens to the populace, the general population, and trying to control us through illness and health risk and health regulation. You know what I mean? It's another form of martial law, but except they're using the medical as the pretenses for the initiation.
Because we see these diseases in these laboratories. It's not used for good when it's at a black site, not regulate, off patrol. These pathogens can be used as a weapon, correct? There's no assumption when it comes down to that point, that these diseases can be used as a weapon. It can be used. I'm gonna give an example. If I'm a politician and I don't vote a certain way to certain people, and certain people not getting my vote, I refuse. I refuse. I'm a senator, and I don't agree with your behavior and your people, your nation, your livelihood. And then I wake up the next day, I got HIV, or I got malaria or COVID. It
You see,
makes
Henry,
one
hold on,
wonder.
Henry, you got. Let's put it. Let's keep where you at, but we gonna bring some well-known Black history into it since it's so-called Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
All right then. So, Henry, what if let's take the illness out of it. Based on what you're saying, right? Culling of the population or taking people out in the population who are let's just say disagreeable with in the constituency, right?
Yeah.
What did they call that in the history of the Black community? What do we call that?
Explain.
Marginalizing certain voter groups or trying to redraw certain political lines in order to gain favor on the vote. What do we call that?
What's that?
Redlining. Right?
Well.
Now, redlining, according to the Congress and the Supreme Court, is illegal. It's a form of discrimination, right?
Yeah.
So now, since they can't do it legitimately politically anymore, right? They want to find another way. So now, remember what I said earlier. It has to be administered, right? It's an administering of the illness. So, if they know that you don't want to vote for conservative Republicans in a conservative Republican district, and it's slowly becoming majority Democratic, right? More liberal. So now, what's to prevent them when you go, say you go to the doctor, you're just there to get a physical, and they tell you, oh, we need you to get these vaccines because it's not lined, you haven't got your boosters, you're not lined up. Now, we already know in the hood what that means if if somebody's lining you up. You know what I'm saying? You already know what that means. If a nigga say niggas is lining you up in the hood, we know what that means when they're lining you up. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about no haircuts either. Just so people don't try to mix up what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, Henry, what's to prevent them, right, from administering you, let's just say, for example, Hot Shot 19, right? From administering you the highly contagious version of the Hot Shot, but it's not that you're going to get the 19, but you're going to get the house in Virginia. You know, some Easy-E type shit, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How they took up Easy-E up out of here. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's just like Malcolm X said, right? You know, there's two types of people that they don't like in this world. Educated people and unruly people. And unfortunately for them, I'm both. You know what I'm saying? So they got to figure out ways to take you up out of here. Legitimately. But it can't look like homicide. You know what I mean?
So now, the person is in jail for the first biolab. California in 2023. And now another laboratory, and they stayed in contact. These two individuals. Let's go more deep into this.
You didn't hear about this because he's Israeli. Ori Solomon, the property manager and owner of a secret Las Vegas biolab, was quietly released from custody, though under certain conditions, by a federal judge, despite authorities discovering over 1,000 samples of deadly viruses, including HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria. The lab, located in a residential home, contained refrigerators filled with vials of biohazard liquids, biosafety hoods, centrifuges, and other laboratory equipment. According to Las Vegas Metro Police court documents, a house cleaner and a handyman who entered the garage laboratory later became deathly ill, reporting symptoms so severe they could not get out of bed. Solomon, an Israeli living in the US on a non-immigrant visa, is legally barred from owning firearms. Yet, authorities recovered multiple rifles and handguns, including an Israel's weapons industry's Shaver X95 assault rifle used by Israel's military. Even with weapons and lethal pathogens on US soil, federal authorities have only charged him with state-level hazardous waste violations and gun possession. No charges for handling deadly viruses, and he definitely was not forcefully disappeared into one of those ICE warehouses. Investigators say the Las Vegas home is owned through an entity tied to David He, the man arrested in 2023 in connection with an illegal biolab in Redley, California, and federally charged with misbranded medical device and laboratory violations, and authorities have noted similarities between materials found in both locations. Police documents and court filings show Solomon communicated with He hundreds of times in the weeks before the raid and managed financial and property matters for him while he awaited trial.
So they was tracking this individual. They was investigating them, and they was getting all the information to the phone. Like, hey, got more laboratory. We got a new one. We see.
See, this is the problem, right, Henry? It's like that on the movie They Cloned Tyrone, right? We can consider 2023 to be like at the end of the movie when they busted up the cloning facility, right? But in the Easter egg at the end of the movie, at the very end, they showed us that they had cloning facilities in every major city in America. You know, when they show it in the West Coast and stuff like that, they showed us they got major cloning facilities everywhere. Right? And another thing people got to realize, just because I'm saying a cloning facility doesn't mean they only cloning humans. How you think they're getting these large supplies of COVID, herpes, HIV, strains of cancer? How do you think they're getting these things? They're cloning it. They're cloning them. You know? It's not just humans. That's where people got, because a lot of people is narrow-minded. So if you say cloning, they're going to think one thing. You know, they're not thinking about how the cloning facility could be used in a malicious purpose for bioavailable agents. You know? Like these agents of organic terrorism. You know what I mean? We might as well call it what it is. It's organic terrorism. You know? And I'm just not, I can't even put good faith in the government to say that Donald Trump and the United States government needs to be looking into this and really diving deep into these effects, because they themselves is criminals, the Epstein list and so on and so forth, and a lot of people is not being held accountable for their names even being in the Epstein file. And if that's how they're handling that, you know, I'm even surprised from that report, them saying that they got home dude on certain conditions on under his arrest, because I'm surprised he wasn't on the first thing smoking to Israel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm even more shocked that they got a federal judge to sign something saying he can't leave the country, and Netanyahu himself hasn't sent the ambassador or come to America himself to come get his people out of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
And the odd part is that the individual who got arrested was banned for holding firearms and got caught with firearms. So you know it's
And it was Israeli firearms too. It wasn't like he came to America and bought American-made firearms off the street. That means he brought them firearms with him from Israel. You know what I'm saying? Those are Israeli firearms.
That's why.
Because in America, you know, Henry, you know, we out here we understand how the firearms is maneuvering, and we know about that subject matter. There's no Americans carrying no MP5s. Henry, we've been in the streets our whole lives, bro. When have you ever known any Negroes to be carrying MP5s?
People talking about AKs, Russian, still Russian, AK, Russian.
ARs, American.
Outside of that, talking about AR, M16,
or you know, a heckler in a Koch, a Smith and Wesson, a Moxburg.
With an Israel Uzi.
That's what I said. Who do we know that's ever had an Israeli firearm or MP5? Come on, bro. Who's shooting MP5s in the hood?
Most people have to go Google. I never seen it up close. Most people have to Google it to see it. So you got this Israeli immigrant, non-worker visa in America, connected to biohazard with Israeli firearms. And y'all not trying to tell us otherwise, that this not connected to Israel? It's weird.
And that's
they
even
didn't talk
concerning too.
About it in the news.
And that's concerning too, Henry. Because you got to ask yourself another question. Because now this is me bringing up another question, right? How did he get these Israeli firearms into America, number one? And number two, how did he get it all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada? You know what I'm saying? Because Israel is a long way from Las Vegas. Tel Aviv is far from Las Vegas, my brother. It's a far distance. And it's not... And then after that, it's another question. Where did he get these bioavailable pathogens at? Did Israel give him the pathogens? Is Israel and these Israelis, Netanyahu and them, behind it? Are they the shadow that we ain't seeing? You know, the puppet masters, because they're trying to take out swaths of the American population who's anti-Israel because of their stance on what's happening in Gaza.
So talking about that, we already know that it was a conspiracy out. The convert control the bank. The convert control Hollywood. The convert is the Illuminati. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a theory. It's a law. Because when you have to take over a whole arena to push your agenda for the next generation.
Did you get that? Henry, let me ask you a question. Do you got that video from when I showed you earlier?
Look. We got this video right. It's powerful.
Yeah, put that video up. Put that video up real quick.
Inside the Patriot Stadium, a command center of stats tracking hate speech online. It shows where it's coming from, the time of day, and how it's trending, especially among younger people.
We saw that not only is hate and anti-Semitism growing across the country, it's disproportionately grown on college campuses and in high schools.
Which is part of the reason Kraft says he partnered with the United Negro College Fund and the Jewish organization Hillel International to host unity dinners throughout the country.
So let's get to it.
Baruch College students Aiden Herzlinger and Akish L. are among the more than 450 students who've attended at least one of the dinners.
What do you talk about at these dinners?
The dinners are about finding commonalities between the Black community and the Jewish community. So we really talk about anything and everything. It's not just about politics and opinions, it's about treating each other as humans.
We mainly talked about our families, why we have communities, and how our communities are similar more than different.
Why Jewish students with Black students?
Because historically we had that connection. It's a connection that's gotten a lot done, and I think we can continue to get a lot done if we come together.
And when you heard those students talk about the history of Blacks and Jews working together, consider this. In June of 1964, 3 college students fighting for civil rights in Mississippi were murdered by the Ku Klux Klan with law enforcement. Those activists were James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner. Chaney, a Black man, Goodman and Schwerner, Jewish.
Touching story at the end. But let's get to this right here.
See, there was something very important that they said in that video, right? There's 2 things that I'll punctuate it with. The first thing I want to mention is something that we've already shown in previous shows. Henry showed the clip about 3 times on previous shows. Benjamin Netanyahu talking about that they're going to go into effect against the woke right. And not only that, they said they was going to put in as much propaganda as they had to get the youth to become pro-Israel. Now, see, based on what we just saw in that video, the youth is not adhering to anything Israel got to say, which I think is very motivational and inspiring for the future. It's very, and these kids is definitely being an example, because it shows that the current administration and the current voter bloc of the elders are too stuck in their ways, even with the presentation of truthful, contrary information and proof being released. They're still, you know how they say, these old folks are stubborn, so they're not trying to change their mind about how they voted or their belief, because they don't want to be wrong or they don't want to be proven wrong. And, you know, so, but at least the youth, the next generation, is not going to tolerate this. And they're scared because they know that that same block is the fastest growing block of millionaires in the United States of America. So not only are they, unlike the previous generations, not only are they not sharing the political views of their parents and their grandparents, but they also have higher wealth income than their parents and their grandparents. So they can't be influenced in the same way by these effects of people in the elite status trying to influence and put them in a bad situation by having them adhere to the coercion in the political arenas. So now, and I find it funny that they're using the New England Patriots Stadium for these effects, when that means that it's most likely possible that they're using all these NFL stadiums for the same purpose. And it just goes to show they're tracking us in all aspects of our lives without our permission or without our knowledge. And they're using it against us in certain ways, you know? And just for us, even on this channel right now, speaking the way that we're speaking, even though we're not saying anything inflammatory, we're not being aggressive, and we're not talking about instituting or promoting violence against anyone. We haven't said anything about no violence. We're still going to be, according to the governmental policies, they're still going to put us in the FBI watch list. They're still going to have us on a terrorist list. They're still going to have us as threats to the government of the United States of America, when, first of all, if you go back on all of our shows, any of our shows, me and Henry have always said, you know, that we're pro-American. We're patriots. You know what I mean? We're true patriots out here. We're not with no other countries. We ain't never said nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We never
I
said
love America.
America
first.
America first. Right. We've never said nothing against our country. Henry served in our country's military. You know what I mean? If I didn't get into kidney dialysis, I would have served my life in the United States military. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking to people who are extremists and ignorant in what they're saying. We're people who are educated in these forms of of government. We're educated in the forms of government. We're educated in the forms of military tactic and training. We're also educated in the forms of international laws. We're also educated in the forms of personal independence and sovereignty. We're not saying anything that's incorrect. All we're doing is exercising our freedom of speech, you know, and we're giving people alternative viewpoints, critical thinking skills, and we're trying to give further understanding to a complex situation of propaganda and malicious persecution by those in the seats of power who don't want to give up their power because they're corrupted individuals. And not only are they corrupted individuals, they're straight up criminals on the Epstein list, and they ain't nobody persecuting them. And now we find in biochemical labs, we find in cloning facilities. Next thing you know, Henry, we're finding Chinese police stations in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And then he got... Yeah, I got you. And then, hold on, this thing too. Listen, Henry, word one, and you know I always be predicting shit, Henry. You know I stay predicting shit. So this is another one to mark up for a future show prediction, right? We got 2 out of the big 3, right? A cloning facility, a biopathogen lab. The third one we're missing, the only one we're missing, is an underground nuclear facility. That's all we're missing, bro. Is an underground nuclear facility. That's all we're missing. All we need is the FBI and the NSA to raid a spot and tell us they was developing nuclear weapons for private use.
Yeah.
That's all we need next. That's all we need next, bro.
I want to say this right now before we forget. R.I.P. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. He died this moment of silence. Okay. What I seen in the last was something shocking. If you paid attention. Why? Because right now we're in the age where somebody could say the F word, the F bomb, or MLK, and just, and everybody would laugh. We seen it in the barber shop. That was Cedric Entertainment. Saying L. Jesse Jackson and all that. So if we could disavow, throw away some of our leaders, civil rights leaders, and realize
Henry, hold on.
Wait. Let me put
we need to go into that.
If we could get rid of our civil rights leaders or elders, for what? For what reason? Because we looking at reality, not the fantasy that Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton was pushed. We see reality. When I'm talking about I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about women. I'm not talking about YT people. I'm talking about African American and Hispanic. I have teenagers in the community walking up to me, asking me what's going on with Benjamin Netanyahu coming to the U.S. What's going on? They know it's a big deal. They know Gaza. I'm not saying that Hamas was right. They was wrong. They went after citizens. They did wrong on October the 7th. But that do not give us excuse of ruining the citizens of God.
See, Henry, this is what we gotta get into for these folks on the dial, right? Let's give them the real 411 with Jesse Jackson, right? He had everybody out here claiming African American when he himself claimed that he's Cherokee Indigenous Americans. This is the part that don't make sense. number one, the question I always ask anybody who talks about they're African American, the first question I always ask, how can you be born in two continents? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? They ain't calling, think about it, right? We don't call no white people European Americans. You know what I'm saying? We don't call no, we ain't calling no, we don't call Hispanics and them European Americans. You know what I'm saying? They might call them Latin Americans, but you know, Latin is it's not a place. You know what I'm saying? It's not a place. Latin is not a place. Latin is a definition of a culture. Right? It's cultural. African is not cultural. Africa is a continent. Africa has hundreds of cultures. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds. Secondly, the United States alone has hundreds of cultures. You know what I'm saying? I live in Rhode Island, right? You live in Maryland. You're from Louisiana. That's 3 different cultures right there. 3 different cultures. Totally different. You know what I'm saying? And that's like me saying, oh, well, me and Henry is American, both Americans, so we had the same general experience in our lives, which is impossible, because we came from 2 totally different regions. You know what I mean? So it's not going to apply in reality. Yeah, we all are American. Yeah, we all get raised under certain principles, but it doesn't dictate the culture. Remember, we know what dictates the culture: the community and the neighborhood. And neighborhoods are strictly applicable only to that area. You know, some general things may leak to other places, like accents, words, terminologies, and things like that. But we all have our own cultures, you know, even when it comes to subcultures, because even in the neighborhoods you got subcultures, because not everybody in the neighborhood is the same either. Not
But
everybody
even,
in the
even with that, you got a good point. It's kind of like this. Jimmy. I'm just making up names. Jimmy a good friend of ours. He march with us. He eat with us. He work with us. And he wound up being a convert. What he done for us don't mean other converts come around and be friendly because of the love that Jimmy showed. You see what I'm saying? So,
Henry, you know how we know you're right? Hold on. You know what? Let's really dig into that, right? Because let's say, for example, in the same community, right? You might have some pro-black folks, right?
Yeah.
Hard body. Yeah. We know, Henry. We know some pro-black folks, right? And they might be on some discriminating type stuff, right? Because you could be having some Latino friends, you know what I'm saying? You could have some Hispanic friends. And they gonna be up on you like, yo, why you ain't chilling with us? Why you chilling with them? Type time. You know what I mean? Not understanding that it's, oh, yo, they be acting all racist and da 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 da. Well, if they was, just because they was acting racist with you, don't mean that they're acting racist with me. So now you and hold on, I'm gonna bring the example. So maybe the reason why these Latino people in the neighborhood is being racist with you is because of your extremist view of pro-black propaganda. Maybe that's what they don't like about you. It's your extremist view. Because you gotta remember, what's the difference between a neo-Nazi, KKK, and a pro-black extremist? What's the difference? Nothing. Me and Henry has said this on several shows. When you bring out that pro-black hardline propaganda, you're alienating diversity.
Yeah.
You're alienating acceptance, tolerance. And you know, Henry, we grew up in the 90s. And we was taught diversity.
Let's also look at it in this frame right here also. Me and you. Let's say we grew up at I stood cook. You was okay with it because you helped me out. Parents came in. You hold it down. We were ride and die. You didn't snitch on me. Because we both ate the cookie. But now we are adults. And you wanna take a call. You wanna take a road. You wanna take a match. And I wanna stay out of it because I have a conscience to stay out of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I still love you, but I don't want nothing to do with it. It's wrong. I can say it's wrong. What I mean by that is when I was young, reading the Bible, when hearing the word the chosen people, I would have believed that it was the convert. Knowing that America ate the cookie along with their friend. And I ate the cookie too because I was a Christian when I was young. I ate the cookie. But growing up, I realized that I don't want to take the match, take the car, take the Rolex. I don't want to take that because we grow up and realize that, hey, we see reality, and reality we see what's going on in God. We see that, we realize that that's the and they have to get evangelist. I heard a Christian evangelist, but now you have, I could say, scientist evangelist.
It's another propaganda window.
Yes, because they got to infiltrate the best community. The community that if make a new dance trend or anything,
Shout out to the shorts.
It's us. They going to the children, they going to the people in colleges, they going to the people in the sororities and the
Hold on. Let's say it like this, Henry. They're going to the most population dense parts of the demographics. They're going to whichever is the highest percentile demographics to try to take control by majority.
So
majority, remember this is America, so majority rules society, right?
Yeah.
Legitimate majority rules. Everything we do is a vote. This weekend was the NBA All-Star. How do you get on the NBA All-Star team? You got to get voted onto the team. You don't go on there because of your accolades. Because if LeBron James didn't score any points or do anything all year, he would have still got voted on because he's LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest with it. It's a vote, majority rules type of thing. So, basically meaning it's a popularity contest, right? We know we all been in school, high school. Who didn't try to get best dressed in the yearbook? You know what I mean? Who didn't try? You know what I mean? I remember I was trying to get it. I wore a new outfit for 6 months straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because so you gotta understand. Now these are the groups, the youth, right? By the youth I mean everybody that's under college. That's under college age, the youth. And then going into the colleges, those are the two biggest demographics socially. And then the biggest demographic parallel to that is Christians, right? So they're going to use that as these pretenses for the propaganda. Example, me and Henry told y'all 3 months ago they was going to go up into Nigeria under the pretenses of them killing Christians. More recently, the United States military has landed in boots on the ground in Nigeria under the pretense of defending Christianity. This is not the Crusades. This is not 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. We're not in the Crusades. We supposed to be more logical than going to war over religions. A religion is a personal belief system, meaning that it should have no effect on military actions. And I'm saying this even for my Muslims and Islamists out there too. Jihad and all that BS that y'all trying to be on. You're sounding childish. That's like me trying to go to war with you over Spider-Man being better than Batman. It sounds ridiculous. But that's the same thing you doing. You're over here fighting over comic book characters. You're fighting whole genocidal wars over propagandized mythology. So then why can't, look at me, I got an X-Men shirt on. So does that mean if you don't like Marvel Comics, I should be going to war with you because you like manga? No. That's one of the things that we was taught in our childhood about diversity. That's what makes the world a better place, is that people have different ideas and beliefs. That people are able to share their ideas and beliefs in an open system of understanding and tolerance. You know? You have to be smarter than to let them gaslight you into fighting over mythology. You're sounding like the ancestors who made the same mistakes all these generations ago. How the human race, in the pinnacle of technology and development, still fighting over things we was fighting over in ancient Egypt.
So it might not be. Let's look at the flip side. That the Christianity part, the chosen people, is all propaganda for elitists to play with people's emotions. Oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm a convert. I'm a Muslim. So by becoming one of these faiths, I gotta respect all the holy places, all the holy things that Islam holds sacred because I went to this faith and converted to this faith. Or I gotta be subservient because some individuals in my government want to take the Bible Belt empire to a whole different level. What I mean by that is,
Henry.
Wait. Let me finish this point right here. What I mean by Bible Belt empire is that America is for one type of people, and they are Christian. And Christians should bow down to some convert where there's nowhere in our Constitution to do so. We don't do it for England when the English are our ally.
Right.
We don't do that for the French. Wait. Let's not even go to nation. Let's go to the so-called African American community. When we had the BLK, what did y'all say? Everybody's life matters. So when they say anti-something, no. Every life matters. Every life matters. That's it.
See, and this is the thing too, Henry. I don't adhere to any specific faith itself. Man-made religions, right? Man-made religions. I put my trust in God Almighty, the creator of all things, the heavens and the earth. Right? So I follow the laws, the commandments, right? Now remember what you just said. All that stuff you just named in the physical world, God himself told us in the second commandment it's idolatry. All of it's idolatry. Churches, statues, holy places. These are all blasphemous abominations to God. Because God doesn't need us humans to build him temples and statues and all of this stuff. He doesn't need that. God don't need that. Because God already created us, the human beings, the earth and creation itself, as that emanation, as the emanation. So why would we have to make a physical representation of something that's already naturally represented right in front of us, right? That we are also part of the representation of that.
Yeah.
And this is why we got people running amok in the society, creating cloning facility, creating biochemical labs, Yakuza selling nuclear weapons in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they lost their way and then they lost their mind. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people in this world is going through psychosis. I say this a lot, but it's because it's true. They're going through psychosis. Because they'll do anything for that almighty dollar, right? They'll do anything for the fame and the glory, clout chasing. All with what? The name of safety or security. But as long as there's these maniacal, diabolical, pinky in the brain ass mugs out here, what we gonna do today, Pinky? We're gonna try to take over the world. Like, bro, first of all, it ain't no taking over the world, because ain't no that. I guess they forgot the lesson that Pocahontas said up in the movie. You know what I mean? In the Disney movie. That's why I like Disney movies, because they always got good lessons if you're really paying attention and understanding. You can't possess the lands. I can't get up and walk away with Rhode Island. Henry, you can't get up and walk away with Maryland and go back to Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people is possessive over things that can't be possessed. You can't possess the glory or possess the fame or possess any of that, because it's all intangible. Either you got it or you don't. That's why in Hollywood, they call it the it factor. Either you have the it factor or you don't. That's why it doesn't matter how much marketing and promotion certain people have, they never blow up into the spotlight, even with unlimited exposure.
Yeah.
They never catch on.
Yeah.
It's because it's an intangible aspect. Just like some people is clutch. You put, like, I'm one of them type of people, right? If you put the pressure on, I'm going to produce the greatest shit you ever seen in your life when the pressure's on. Because that's how I am. That's how I move. I move with pressure. I adapt to the pressure. I get better under the pressure. And then there's people like Drake May, from New England, quarterback for the New England Patriots. When he got to the Super Bowl, he collapsed under the pressure. He couldn't even make a regular pass. Forget win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's and that's what I mean by intangible aspects.
So we got a lot of things going on behind the scene in the nation. We trying to bring what is important, but what they hide from the headline. They put it on page 2. And you don't see it again. That's the type of stories
That's the type of stories
that we coming with.
that
Not
we coming with.
propaganda,
Not propaganda.
not trying to slander
Not
people,
trying to slander people.
but just asking questions.
But just asking questions.
Is what going on
Is
in
what
Gaza
going
a
on
genocide?
in Gaza genocide?
Is they
Is they
trying to
trying to
push us a
push
narrative
us a narrative
when a
when
foreign government
a
have to
foreign
come on
government have
American
to come on
shore
American shore
and push
and push
the next generation in
the next
college to
generation in
support
college to support
their vision,
their vision.
never seen in history till
Never
now.
seen in history till now.
Hey Henry,
And
not only
we,
that too, they're pushing
And
what else?
we
A form. Let's say what it is, right? They're pushing to our country's youth a form of ethnic cleansing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's not. It's neo. We might as well coin a new term. It's neo racism.
yes,
It's neo racism because if you're anti-Israel, that's neo-racist. They're gonna try to go against you. That's neo-racism. You know what I'm saying? It's a new form of racism. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be against anyone who's not pro-Israel. That's neo-racism.
Let me
They want us
say
to
this real
support.
quick.
They want us to support ethnic cleansing.
Let me say this.
let me say this.
I be watching
I be
a few
watching
Asian
a
shows on
few
my
Asian
phone,
shows on my phone.
and a lot of them
And a
have
lot
like the
of
main
them have like the
character
main character
would get bullied
would get bullied
by like the step
by like
brother or
the
the step
stepbrother or
sister,
the stepsister.
and the family would
And the
take the side
family
of
would
the
take the
step brother or
side
the
of the
stepsister
stepbrother or the stepsister
or the adopted.
or the adopted.
All the evidence
All
point
the evidence point
to the
to
stepbrother
the stepbrother
or stepsister doing
or
the bullying,
stepsister doing the bullying.
but the family
But
annoyed.
the family annoyed.
This is
This
what
is what
they want us to do.
they want us to do.
They want to
They
steal
want
cookies out the
to
cookie
steal
jar.
cookies out the cookie jar.
Grab the cookie while
Grab the
waving in your
cookie
face
while
saying you
waving in
not
your face saying
seeing
you
what
not
I'm
seeing
doing.
what I'm doing.
And even if you seeing
And
what I'm
even if you
doing,
seeing what I'm doing,
I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Even if my
Even
mother
if
or my
my
father
mother or
told
my
you
father told you
to not let me get any
to not
cookie,
let me get any cookie.
but I'm telling you
But I'm
that
telling
it's
you
okay. You
that
not
it's
seeing me
okay.
take the
You
cookie.
not seeing me take the cookie.
So when you have
So when you have
president after president after
president after
president
president after
telling
president
us
telling us
that these converts in
that
the
these
state
converts in the state
of Israel
of
spy on
Israel
them.
spy on them.
You have these
You have
honeypot,
these honeypot,
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
They say that
They
it
say
was
that it was
Russia,
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 Russiagate,
Russiagate.
to the point that Donald Trump like,
To the point
hey,
that Donald Trump like, hey,
y'all was wrong. Russia
y'all was
don't have
wrong.
nothing on me.
Russia don't have nothing on me.
It's the great state
It's the
of
great state
Israel.
of
That's who got everything on our politicians. To the point that they would jump on a plane and go have an interview, shake hands, and be friends with Paula, the spy who stole American information and gave American location around the time of the attack of the U.S. Liberty. It's a lot of
They still didn't
things.
apologize, by the way.
We got attacked by this country. We get spied on by this country. We have people from that country order relationship with underage girls, and if they get caught, they just leave jail and fly out the country and don't come back again. And now we have an immigrant from that country having a bio lab here in Nevada, here in America, but in the great state of Nevada. And in the great state of New England, where New England Patriot State, where they their training ground in their dome in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yep.
So in Massachusetts, we have converts pushing propaganda onto the next generation and also monitoring YouTube, like channels like this. Things that we say,
NFL stadium, too.
A whole stadium. They never had a command station like that for any war. But this is a war on the American people. What are we going
And
through?
now it makes you think, and it makes me think as a Patriots fan, right? Is this what my patronage of the business, this is where the profits is going to? Something that I don't believe in? You know, because now it's going to makes you have to rethink and reevaluate your trust in these businesses. Because, like, I've bought several New England Patriots paraphernalia my whole life. You know what I mean? So you're telling me my money was going to spy on me? To get me put on FBI watch lists, NSA watch lists, and stuff like that? For them to buy AI technologies so they can hack into my phone or hack into my computer and be watching me? You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm patronizing them willingly, voluntarily, obviously, with my own willpower, when I never had to patronize them in the first place. It's capitalism, you know what I mean? Yeah. The NFL, from what I seen last, I forget where I seen it at, but the NFL is one of the most profitable corporations in the world. I'm talking about like top 5 or top 10 corporations in the world. Making pulling in the most revenue. And our own revenue is that we're helping them to achieve by our patronage is going for our self-destruction. Not to mention they're rigging the games so that way in the great state of Nevada, Las Vegas always comes out on top. So they're never cashing people out on massive payouts.
I got a question for you. Have you ever witnessed a situation where somebody pulled a convert over? A police pull a convert over and done millennious thing. Yes or no? That's a yes or no question.
I've never seen it. I've never seen the police. Hold on. Let me just say this too. And I've never seen the police shake down any convert. I've never seen them having them slammed up against the hood of a police vehicle. I've never seen them be violated by grabbing their private areas and putting their hands in people's pants and all type of egregious things that will be considered SA in certain circumstances. I personally can speak from experience of police officers doing these things to me when they had no probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion to do so. I've had police jam me up, and I'm not even the description of the suspect. And they try to get me to go down for the charges.
And it's like this. Why I
I
said
never seen them do that to no converts.
Yeah, why I said it like that is because in the small town that I'm from in Louisiana, it called Lake Charles. And on the northern side of the city is the historical African American neighborhood. It's called Gosport. I'm from there. You'll see 0.1 or something like that with other. You might have one family, low income living that is YT, white American. You would see I seen like one household of Hispanic. I seen some Asian, but it's majority African American community. You won't see an Orthodox Jew. You won't see an Orthodox Buddhist. You will see your reality. So it's not no hate. It's not no anti things. It might be an opposition between African Americans and the police, the system. Y'all heard me. I didn't say YT, white people, European. I said the system, police and the system. They might have a problem. But outside of that, reality say that the suffering of a lot of low-income people have more relations to what's going on in Gaza. So we got spying on Americans. We got secret laboratories with biohazard here in America. We have the government, we have people on records who work for the government saying the United States government is the number one child trafficker around.
Yes, sir.
They pay a incentive out of Social Security to take children and fulfill a quota.
Hey, and let's not forget that they got the secret police out here now. That's not so secret. ICE running around here kidnapping folks for the trafficking purposes. But talking about they deporting folks and they trying to get illegal immigration under control, when we seen in the last show that they're just using it as a mean to be playing in our face and really just human trafficking without any consequence.
Yeah.
Using government agencies, using our taxpayer funds, right? Ask the average taxpayer if they want their taxes used for human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Don't nobody want to hear that. Yeah. You know, don't nobody want to hear that your money is going to bomb children in Gaza. And at multi-million dollars a bomb at that point, at that price point. Me and Henry been exposed that on previous shows. Yeah, we're talking about millions of dollars for a single bomb.
Talking about that.
And then, hold on, let me just say this last piece too. And then our taxpayer money is going to defend and protect these criminal sexual deviants in the Epstein list, because hasn't one person, not one person, I'm talking about none, have been brought up on charges or even apprehended in the cases that have been revealed in these files. I don't care if it's allegedly. They need to be under arrest, because if I was allegedly anything, I'm under arrest right now. They would have broke into my door in my house and brought me out in shackles. Allegedly anything.
Yeah.
Forget if they got hard evidence like emails and video footage, eyewitness accounts, smoking gun statements, and like Henry said to me earlier, the biggest trafficker of them all was a public figure. And he was well respected in the world community, Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner. You know? And I was trying to tell Henry when he brought it up, and Henry didn't agree with me. He thinks Hugh Hefner is on the same level as Epstein.
Yeah.
But I told him I feel like Hefner is a whole nother echelon on the tier than Epstein. Epstein is definitely a tier lower than Hefner. Because I feel like his public exposure and his public acceptance is part of the reason why people like Epstein is able to fly under the radar like they did. People like P. Diddy and R. Kelly feel like they had the free reign to move how they was moving. How what's his name too from the House of Cards? I forgot what his name is too. Who was out here molesting these young boys, with having free reign on these folks. And then they always villainize the people who's the real heroes. Just like, I don't know if you heard about it, Henry, but Macaulay Culkin recently has been coming out and going hard for Michael Jackson, that he was saving the kids from Epstein. And remember, and in the public, they tried to make it look like Michael Jackson was Epstein. And this is where now we have to start understanding and taking things into our own hands. Now, I'm not saying we got to get violent, but you know how that goes. But I do think that if we're all patriots, if you love yourself and you love America, we need to purge ourselves of these corruptions, because if not, these people keep thinking that they're going to have free reign. That's why they're blowing it up in our face every day. That's why they released the Epstein list redacted in America, but in France and in Germany, it's completely unredacted. How you give the American people the redacted version, but you give a whole nother 2 countries populace the unredacted version? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It's not even their business.
Yeah, so we get spied on. We get moved around like cattle. We the people. It's kind of like I just got to deal with my work and not pay attention to these things. That's what they want. But we gotta realize that we can make a difference for the children of tomorrow. Never in the working service. That's what news means for the next generation. To be prepared, to understand what is honor, what is loyalty, what is commitment, dedication, virtue,
integrity.
Yes, integrity. And when it's the right time to show mercy and compassion. Sometimes
And
you gotta
don't forget, and what is it, the time for justice
and
truth, you know?
Yes. Justice and truth. So this is about our time
we
for
forgot.
tonight.
Hold on, Henry. Hold on. Let me say this. See, it seems like people forgot that was that used to be the slogan of America, right? For truth, justice, in the American way. Not democracy. The American way is not democracy. The American way is truth and justice. That was the principles that the country was established on. Truth and justice. For all people. That's why it tells us that right off rip. In the Constitution. The Bill of Rights. These truths is endowed by the Creator. It's unalienable rights. That means that no matter what they try to do, it could never be taken away from you. It's basic human rights. Meaning that the Constitution doesn't just rule over America in that aspect from that understanding. It rules over the whole existence. Because if Americans have those unalienable rights of humanity endowed on them by the Creator, that means all humans on the earth have these unalienable rights. It doesn't matter where you was born at, your geolocation. We're all given these unalienable rights. Just like we have to breathe air and drink water. It is a human necessity in psychological, emotional, and physical aspects. The totality of the reality. It permeates all existence. The right of freedom, truth, and justice. Not lies and injustice. Not covering up crime and criminals paying their way out of situation. If it's crime, then it got to be punishment.
Hey,
how many
break
times,
it down the best.
Break it down the best.
How many times you gonna let your kid get away with stealing at the store for you go off on them? Shoplifting. Come on now, I don't want to. Oh well, if my kid gets caught shoplifting, he's gonna be in trouble. So then, and shoplifting is minor compared to the Epstein list. Shoplifting is minor compared to the Epstein list. And I'm disappointed in all of my elders who raised me. Because you know why? Because they're quiet about the Epstein files. Quiet about the Epstein list. They don't want to talk about it. So you're complicit. And you need to go to jail with them too. Because you're complicit. If you're not against criminality, that means you're complicit.
So looking at everything. Epstein situation didn't just formulate in the 1990s. It didn't just formulate around the World Trade Center. What I mean is, he was just alive recently. A few years ago. He was arrested on new charges recently. A lot of these people are actors that been to his island. Entertainers, business, entrepreneurs, politics, politicians, religion people, dealing with people like the Dalai Lama. There's stories about the disciple of the Dalai Lama eating and drinking his feces because they believe that he's holy. There's so much things in this world.
See, Henry, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. These folks is psychotic, bro. They're psychotic. They're living in a constant state of psychosis. Because that's not natural. eating somebody's feces and all that, that's unnatural. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. We ain't supposed to be doing that. You know what I mean? We ain't supposed to be out here accepting that people's human trafficking, folks. We ain't supposed to be out here accepting that young kids is out here assassinating people. We ain't supposed to be out here accepting that people is getting robbed and over some Pokemon cards. Some Pokemon cards. Are you serious, my guy?
Facts.
I don't want to hear that, man.
So
It's not. It's inappropriate because, you know, a lot of us, I would say the great majority of us, you know what I mean, in American society, we wasn't raised like that. I can speak for a lot of the population. Because we all was taught chivalry and professional behaviors since we was yay children in school. So there's no excuse as adults because we know what's appropriate behavior. And then outside of that, we know what is polite behavior, socially acceptable behavior, and we know what's professional behavior. Now, whether people adhere to these principles or not, that's on them.
yes,
But to
yes.
say they don't know any other way is a lie in itself.
So now
we
it's
know we
coming
all had
down.
to sit up in them classrooms.
Yeah, so now it's coming down to the end of the show. I want to thank the people who stayed in here and comment. And I want to thank the people for becoming a subscriber to the channel. We are sitting at 8.47K. We will be seeing 9,000 soon. Thank y'all for subbing and helping the channel. Please hit the like button. Please hit the bell because you will be updated with our new shows when they come. It'll give you an alert. Outside of that, we love you all. We don't hate no one or nobody culture, ethnic, religion, sex. I won't say sex. I'm gonna say gender. We don't discriminate there. We just ask questions. We make statements to give people room to think. We don't want you to think the way we think. We want you to be open-minded. And like, hey, it's a possibility. That's all we here to do. Everything we say on the show is not for people to run around and say, hey, we learned something here and we trying to act on it in a violent manner. We don't want no violence. We just want people to understand the conditions that we live here in America. We love you all. And hope you have a wonderful night. So, Shin, you have anything to tell the people before we leave?
Yes, sir, you already. Positive vibe bring positive results. Positive results means you're accomplishing your goals. Just because you go through a negative circumstance doesn't mean you can't have a positive outcome. So stay inspired, stay ambitious, and stay determined. because there's a lot of people in this world that are trying to throw you off your game. Remember, progress is the ascension process. So the only way to advance is to take your life into your own hands. Holla at me.